Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. As just been presented, my name is Fernando Peregrino. I work at the UIPO, the European Union Intellectual Property Office, and I'm the data scientist manager. So I'm in charge of most of the projects related to artificial intelligence applied to intellectual property rights. Let's start by a short introduction, just to say, without further ado, let's move to a general introduction of the UIPO. Just to provide a general picture of what is the UIPO. It is a EU agency for the IP rights protection related to business and innovator across the EU and beyond. We are around 1,600 people working here, and we register around 150,000 EU trademarks and 100,000 community design annually, for a market of around 450 million consumers. Those were just a few figures, and let's move to a definition of artificial intelligence according to the European Commission. So just to provide a general view of what AI means for the EU Commission, it is a system that displays intelligent behavior by analyzing its environment and taking action to achieve specific goals. They are so committed to AI that they plan to get an investment of 200 billion in next 10 years. That means 20 billion per year during 10 years. So just to continue, let's show some use cases we have or we have had in the past, or we will have in the future here in the office. So we are going to show some use cases we have in the office. So first of all, is the most common one could be to develop some tools related to support business in the decision making. Design, in this case, we have here a snapshot of design decision letter project that fit a dashboard up with the extracted from a large set of letters. That is, we have only the letters in a PDF format, and we have extract all the data that we have there. Design deficiency letter means that when something is going wrong and you can register your design, maybe because the background is not neutral or some other things, and you can, and there are many reasons why you can register some that could be a deficiency. So at the end of the day, what we are providing to our internal user, to the business, is a support to taking decision, because making decision because they can see where something is going wrong. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in China some people are not understanding something properly because it's not properly written in Chinese or something like that. So we can show a picture of what's going on depending on the country, depending on the type of deficiency or whatever. Another project that we have is a search engine. But this search engine is built just on trustworthy domains. That is this one was built for a small medium enterprise. So what we did was just to index set of websites that are trustworthy and related to a specific domain of small medium enterprise related to intellectual property, in order to drive the user to those results instead of general search engines such as Google. Also, we have built and we are continuing building and developing chatbots. This is where we have two, and we have another project to develop another one. The first one is related to, it's a first line virtual assistant. And the second one is again related to SMEs. So there are different types of chatbot. It's not only just one case of chatbot. One is related to question and answering, and the other could provide definition or samples for people. And the logic is completely different. So this is a core business project we have. This is related to goods and service classification, comparison, or suggestion. In this case, we have, when you want to register a trademark, you need to specify a set of goods and service, and according to goods and service you are defining, that could be already registered in the past. So if they are already registered in the past, they are harmonized. So it would be more probable that you get a proper registration, because those was harmonized. So in order to help the user in this case, we provide, according to you will give us a good or service, we will tell you the closest one we have in our harmonized database. Also, we are using this is for comparison. When There are positions because a brand, when there is a brand, a trademark that opposes against another one because they are saying that the new brand, the new trademark is registering something that is exactly or similar to what they have registered, then we can compare all the goods and services in each of the classes to see how similar are those goods and services are brand. Also, we can classify also because we are classifying these classes according to the type of goods and service. It is a good, it is a service, it is related to, I don't know, to food, it is related to other things. So we are relating several niche classes. We can classify just giving providing the good or service, we can tell you which niche class will be the proper to that one. Also, we have developed an autocomplete standard sentences in legal text. We are writing many types of letters here, so the best approach could be to get standard language and not to be typing all the time the same thing again and again. So I think the best approach is, okay, if you start typing, we can predict what you want to write. Usually it's somehow a template, but when you start to write, it's saying, okay, you want to say this, and the whole paragraph will be written for you, just with a few placeholders where you had to write your username or the trademark. Something similar and related to this is a proofreader. The goal is to write in a clear and more concise way, as well as standardize this test to be easily understood for everybody. We can write in many different ways. For instance, we can see on the left side how anybody can write something and how the proofreader could correct that test in a harmonized and standard way. Clear writing tests are easier to understand. The idea is to write shorter, simpler, and jargon-free tests. Also, we are registering many trademarks are registering their logos. So when a trademark wants to register a logo, we have to search in our database with more than 2 million of logos there if there is something similar already existing. So we had to look, and this work would be impossible without artificial intelligence, trying to look something similar in order to prevent some opposition in the future. Related to images, also, we have some describers in the images. We call this Vienna codes. So this could be such as some kind of caption. For instance, in the first image, we can see a panda. So we can see, we could extract some word related to that image that could help us to classify or identify better images in the future. Also related to images is when somebody wants to register a design. The first project we have was related to design deficiency letters. In this case, is when you want to register a design, we just analyzing the image and we see an alert for possible inconsistency in that image that prevent to be registered. For instance, we can see here that someone had a neutral background. So what is wrong? Or there are more than one object in the same image that is not correct. Also, we have a project to classify the CV of candidates according to the best profile. When we demand some profile here, we have internal workers that maybe we can classify according to their skills. So this was just a small set of things that you can do with AI, apply it to IP, but there are many, many other things, such as question and answering. Actually, we are applying question and answering in one of our chatbots. Also, we could do some kind of cluster, trying to classify some kind of tests or images. Translation, for sure. We are working here in the EU. We have 24 different languages. So translation is a very useful project for us. We can use some off-the-shelf tools, such as Google Translate or DeepL, something like that. But the thing is that they are general translators. So we can focus just in, for instance, a legal text, and based on the text we already have, and we have all of them translated. So we can build a better translator or a summary. We can make summary for a long pieces of text. We can reduce that to spot just the general main things that those tests are talking about. Or also make some kind of predictions. It hasn't to be specific for IP also. Imagine you are running the canteen and maybe you want just to predict how much food you had to buy for the next week or something like that. So that's all related to artificial intelligence. And now I would like just to talk just for a few minutes to the blockchain project we have in the office. We have started in the office, but it is spread all around the world. So just a definition of blockchain. Blockchain is a growing list of records, called blocks, that are linked using cryptography. Each block contains a cryptography hash of the previous block. a timestamp, and a transaction data. So by design, a blockchain is resistant to modification of its data. This is because once recorded, the data in any given block cannot be altered retroactively without alteration of the subsequent blocks. So according to this definition, this is the perfect technology to register and keep track of the IP rights, providing security, speed, and agility, among many other advantages. That's why we are building a global IP network with many national IP offices around the world. So if you are interested in joining us, please let me know, and I provide you some more information on this. That's all. Thank you very much. And if you have any question.
First question, do you see artificial intelligence as replacing some aspects of trademark and design examination at some point in the future, like formalities, for instance?
Well, when there is some, many times we have seen that some people are afraid of these changes, but changes will come if you want or not. It doesn't matter. So the thing is, we can replace mechanical things. For instance, everybody's working on computers nowadays because they are doing many mechanical things that without them it would be impossible to do nowadays. But actually, we would like to see that artificial intelligence is a support for the human being. So we are providing some support, just saying, okay, for instance, in the image search, when we were looking for logos, similar logos to other ones, it will be impossible for a human being to be looking into 2 million logos, seeing which one is similar to the ones that person is seeing. So we are replacing some things. We are replacing the way we are doing things, but no the thing that we had to do. So we will support the human beings in those tasks. And many times, AI could be more efficient than human beings. At the beginning, it's a question of confidence in the AI. At the beginning, you say, okay, that could be wrong. But if most of the time is making less mistake than human being, at the end, we will adopt that. And in that way, we can adopt a high-level point of view for human beings, a more sophisticated way of doing things and more efficient, and no doing the run-of-the-mill task.
Very much. There's another question. You mentioned earlier that IP offices can participate in the blockchain project.
Yeah.
Would you have what would be the requirements for offices to participate? What are expected of the IP offices, and are IP offices in Southeast Asia? I mean, is it possible for IP offices in Southeast Asia to participate?
Sure. The thing is, well, we have the IPKey conference last year in South America, and many of the offices were interested in this. I think it was Mexico and Peru. At the end, I'm not sure if they joined because it's not a project I manage. I'm not managing that project. It's a co-worker of mine. But the thing you will be a node in the blockchain whole system. Requirements are not very high. It's very low actually, and we will help it will help any office that is interested in this to join the network of these IP offices. So if you are interested, I can just write me a note, and I'll put you in contact with the person who is in charge of the project.
Thank you very much. So if there's those IP offices that are interested may just send an email, perhaps through the IPKey Southeast Asia. I see that Tiago turned on his videos, so I suppose you would like to say something.
Indeed, Cory, and thank you very much, Fernando, again for the very interesting presentation, and also for to addressing these questions. And regarding what was being just discussed and as suggested by Cory just now, yes, if any of the IP offices present here today would be interested in knowing a little bit more about this the blockchain project that we are working at UIPO, and if you feel interested in joining, please let us know via the IPKey Southeast Asia project, so we can coordinate with the colleagues at UIPO and do the proper coordination to move it forward. So don't hesitate to contact us on that point through the IPKey project. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Tiago. And I think some of the offices are also interested. Going back to the participation in terms of IT requirements. is there any specific for those officials that will be assigned, let's say, to work on the project? Is there any specific requirement that they should have?
As far as I remember, the IT requirement was just to have a server to place all the to make the as the node. I think I have here in the slide. So as you see, there are some. Imagine you are here. We are UIPO, so we have just a node. So it's a server that is with sharing the database with the IP register, with all many other nodes from different offices. So it's hardware is not very high level architecture needed, and from the skill from people is not really very high level, and will be supported by our office also. We'll provide support to set up all the things.